how would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
Do you have any proof of this?
We didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
Do you have proof of that?
Yeah, we have
you have
proof.
photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof?
Alright guys, this is a follow-up to a recent video we did about the reflecting pool and the absolute disaster it has become now that Donald Trump got his grimy little fingers all over it. But admittedly, this is where the story kind of gets a bit dark. Because instead of taking any accountability at all for hiring no-bid contractors who apparently have no idea what the hell that they are doing, Donald Trump has instead decided to buy into a whole bunch of conspiracy theories, and he's now having people arrested claiming that they are the ones responsible for the absolute shit show and toxic sludge that is the reflecting pool. And so let's go ahead and start off right here, where one MAGA idiot is trying to explain to us all how none of this is actually Donald Trump's fault. If you guys do appreciate my work and want to support the show, please do remember to subscribe.
There's algae in here again. I feel like it's sabotage.
That wouldn't shock me either.
Why is it like this? Because it's gooey at the other end, and we walk this whole thing, we're like, there's
nice
no way that something like this. And the very opposite side is the World War II memorial. Right. The water's fine. Why is this? So something happened here.
I mean, they had just literally fixed this.
Obama spent $32 million and it never held water. Trump spends 14 and they go crazy.
They're pumping something into this. I don't know if it's air or what. And what a shame. Because in the end, after all the work that was done, after as proud as I was of President Trump for finally getting this thing fixed, we're back to green. And again, is it nefarious? I tend to think so. You wouldn't have so much algae that you see in here. You would not have that quickly unless somebody did something. I'm telling you, I think they want Trump to fail so badly that they'll come out here and do anything.
I think so. I agree with you.
Yeah, guys, it's just a whole bunch of crazy Democrats, a whole bunch of crazy lefties who came out to the reflecting pool without being noticed, mind you, and they must have done something to sabotage Donald Trump's efforts to restore the glory of the reflecting pool. Am I getting that right, you MAGA idiot? Let's just remember what really happened here, guys. Donald Trump has been absolutely obsessed with the reflecting pool, at least for the past few months now, right? He said that he wanted to restore it. He said that he was the only one who could restore it and that he was going to get it done before America's 250th birthday. So he gave a whole bunch of no-bid contracts away to his buddies who have donated to his campaign in the past. And apparently, they did not know how to do the job correctly. They didn't clean the plumbing, which left a whole bunch of residual algae in the plumbing, which means as soon as they filled that sucker back up again, it was very, very likely that algae was going to take hold and spread like wildfire, which is exactly what happened. And it sounds like they maybe didn't even prep the surface of the reflecting pool correctly, because now we have that American flag blue peeling right off the bottom of the pool. That is what is actually going on. And so instead of taking any accountability at all, instead of recognizing that, hey, maybe something went wrong during the application process or during the job somewhere, somehow, you've got Donald Trump buying into these conspiracy theories without providing a shred of evidence, and now he is sending the National Guard out there and other bigger police presences to make sure that they are arresting people for so-called vandalizing his reflecting pool.
I've never seen this many National Guards in the National Park area. They came up to me and two other women asking if we've touched it, and then just promoting us not to, that we would get arrested or charged with vandalism if we did.
Yeah, guys. He has National Guard surrounding the reflecting pool in probably one of the bigger presents that the city has ever seen, and they are threatening people with arrest if they so much as reach down into the reflecting pool and touch the water, or if they've maybe have found a piece of this, reflecting pool American flag blue paint. Even if they take it out of the water, well, they're going to be arrested. And it's not a hollow threat. because multiple people have already been arrested for that very thing. And like I said, guys, he is not providing a shred of evidence that these are the people who are vandalizing the reflecting pool. There is no evidence at all that vandalism has occurred. The only vandalism that has occurred that we know about is that he ordered hundreds upon hundreds of gallons of industrial strength hydrogen peroxide to be poured into the reflecting pool to try to fix the algae problem. That is probably that is probably why, or at least one of the reasons why, that American flag blue is peeling off the bottom.
Post on Saturday saying the United States Park Police have arrested multiple individuals for vandalizing our nation's magnificent reflecting pool. Who would do such a thing? These are very serious crimes having to do with the destruction of national monuments. Years in jail. Work will begin immediately on its repair. Now, News Nation has obtained video showing multiple people being detained on the mall and near the reflecting pool. I've spent this morning searching court records for any evidence of multiple arrests, but given Friday was a holiday and it's the weekend, nothing's been filed in D.C. Superior Court, so we can't say whether they were charged, and if they were charged, what for. However, the AP is reporting a 67-year-old man from Bethesda was arrested Friday at the reflecting pool. You mentioned his name, David Hearn. He's a former Olympic canoe racer. He told the Associated Press he reached into the pool to examine a chunk of that blue coating that we've seen online that was peeling. He says someone working on the pool at the time told him to stop. Hearn then went on to tell the AP he was detained for nearly 5 hours by park police before being released Friday night.
So just think of how insane this actually is, guys. Donald Trump said that this project was going to cost like $1.6 or $1.7 million. And he said that he was going to get it done faster than anybody has ever seen before. The project cost ballooned all the way up to near $14 million. And now that it is failing, instead of taking accountability, instead of just trying to remedy the situation, he is having people arrested and blaming them, saying that they have vandalized the reflecting pool, and that is why it looks the way that it currently looks. And it's got so bad that they arrested a 67-year-old former Olympian and detained him for multiple hours because he had the gall, everybody, to reach down into the water and pick up one of the chunks of paint that had already become unbonded from the bottom of the pool. That is where we are at today. So not only did he waste 14 million of your tax dollars, fucking this project up all on its own, but now he's sending more police, he's sending more National Guard, he's got a whole bunch of cleanup crews and a whole bunch of, he's even now saying that he's going to have to drain the entire thing and start the whole project all over again. Who knows how much that is going to cost? It is just hand over fist, wastes of money, taxpayer money, and the entire thing is an absolute disaster. And then he sends his U.S. attorney out there to issue more threats, saying that we are going to lock you up for years if we so much as catch you dipping your finger into the water.
President Trump's got a Crime Stoppers tip for you. He says lightweight ABC reporter Jonathan Karl was seen sticking his hand into the pool and trying to rip the rubber off the surface. Judge, is Jonathan Karl from ABC in trouble?
Well, it depends. Anyone who is in a position of vandalizing or attempting to vandalize the reflecting pool will face the criminal justice system in D.C. Look, the president has made it a priority to make D.C. not only safe but beautiful. And there are several citations that have been handed out to individuals, and these are cases that will be prosecuted to the full extent.
Yeah, guys, if you touch the reflecting pool water, if you notice a piece of that American flag blue polymer or paint that is peeling off of the bottom, if you so much as reach your hand down to touch it, Janine Pirro and the full force and weight of the federal government, they're coming after you. And they're going to use the full extent of the law to make sure that your ass winds up in jail. And I don't know if you guys caught it there, but that was an overt threat against a journalist reporting on this story, saying that even he is at risk for doing this.
All told, they spent $14 million to paint the bottom of this reflecting pool American flag blue. But if you take a look, not only has the green of the algae come back, but look at that American flag blue in the paint. It's actually starting to peel. It's coming up. No comment on that yet from the White House.
So that's it, guys. Jonathan Karl, one of the reporters over at ABC News, reached his hand down into the reflecting pool to evaluate, to point out the peeling American flag blue paint that is peeling up from the bottom of the reflecting pool. He reaches it down, and now they are threatening him with arrest because, in their minds, they would rather classify this as vandalism instead of taking any accountability at all for their fuck up. It is insane, guys. It is absolutely insane. We said in the last video that this story is one of the perfect stories, a perfect metaphor for the Trump administration, because everything he touches, turns to shit and then it dies. But again, this is further symbolism showing that we are moving closer and closer to an authoritarian state. Just think of how crazy it is that we have a president of the United States sending National Guard out there to arrest people because by sticking their hands in the reflecting pool and noticing the paint that is peeling off of the bottom, well, that makes dear leader look bad. And we can't have any of that. And then you've got people over at Fox News like Tommy Lahren here trying to say that Donald Trump is trying to do this entire project to make the left happy. He's doing it for the residents of Washington, D.C.
Happening down there.
Well, I'm not a scientist, so the algae thing, I believe that's what happens in bodies of water such as this, so I don't think this is President Trump's fault. But what's so irritating to me about the left here? President Trump is trying to make D.C. nicer. D.C. is filled with Democrats, okay? He's making it nicer because, yes, he happens to live there for the next couple of years, but you all live there all the time because D.C. is made up primarily of liberals and Democrats, right? He's trying to make it nicer for you. He's trying to make it safer for you. He's trying to make your reflecting pool nicer. He's trying to spruce up the place. And they go out of their way to damage and to vandalize it.
I hate these people. I really cannot stand these people. Tommy Lahren is right. I think Donald Trump garnered less than 10% of the vote in Washington, D.C. in all three of his elections. But to think that he is coming into D.C. to spruce up the neighborhood, to make things appear a little bit nicer for the liberals that live in Washington, D.C., that is the stupidest shit that I have ever heard. Everybody knows this is a vanity project. This is a way for Donald Trump to stroke his own ego. And I really hate, guys, I absolutely hate that now that Donald Trump has put it out in the ether, has started to claim that it's people on the left who are vandalizing the reflecting pool, even though they have provided zero evidence that that is actually the case. You've got idiots over on Fox News like Tommy Lahren saying, oh, these crazy liberals, these crazy Democrats, they just want to damage it and vandalize it because they hate Donald Trump that much. He created a problem out of thin air. I am not saying, as we discussed in the previous video, the reflecting pool is an ongoing issue. It is a stagnant body of water. It is shallow. You've got hot and humid summers. Yes, it is going to be an issue. But I don't think it's ever looked this bad. And to think that Washington, D.C. was some sort of shithole, a rundown tinderbox that ready to explode, it's delusional. It is absolutely delusional. I was there a year or two ago. It was absolutely gorgeous. So once again, you have Donald Trump coming in to Washington, D.C., making up a problem, trying to solve that problem, and then absolutely failing in trying to solve that problem. And that is what we are looking at. And because people can now view this as the perfect metaphor that it is, as a perfect, representation of this absolute shit show that is the Trump administration, he is having people arrested and putting it on them, blaming them, saying it is their fault for vandalizing a reflecting pool that would look as bad today if nobody even touched it at all. So I'll leave it there for now, guys. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on this one. But If you guys got anything out of the video and you want to support independent media, which is so important these days, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Drop an American flag or your favorite flag in the comments below to let me know that you made it this far in the video. Interact with the video. Do all that good stuff to boost the video around the algorithm. If you guys are more interested in getting my content delivered to your inbox every day, you can hit me up over at politiscape.substack.com. You can also sign up over there to support this work for as little as $5 a month, which really does go a long way and is greatly, greatly appreciated. And until the next one, everybody, keep your chin up. Everybody stay safe out there. And I'll see you on the next one.